Wagwan people, welcome to another episode of the Clarepoint podcast of me, Randy Prizzle. Now, I'm not going to lie, man's a bit steaming still. I've had a bit to drink and that. If I take one more drink, I'm going to end up in you. Is that what you want to do? Show there. Yeah, I've had some drinks. I generally had one, to be honest. I had a port, you know what I mean? Didn't know how strong this port was going to be, you know. You know what I mean? Man, got back from football. I was feeling good about myself, feeling great, grand like the design, grand like 10K. I was feeling high as a kite, you know what I mean? And I ain't puff on the endo and all of that. I was feeling high, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about the football player that plays for Liverpool either. Do you know what I mean? So I was really feeling myself, you know what I mean? After obviously putting in a decent performance and the team winning. And I thought I played quite well, so came home, saw the port bottle, and I thought, why not? Let's have a bottle of port. A bit, you know what I mean? I kind of had half a bottle. Obviously, stupidly thought, let me down this bottle. Half of the cup, you know what I mean? Downed it, and now, yeah, the results of this. Do you know what I mean? I was in probably a lot more worse condition. Because obviously, if I didn't drink some water, I would have been a lot worse. But I said, hey, I didn't do this podcast early on because man had a headache. And obviously then man went to play football. So I thought, well, the best case scenario is, let's come here late at night. This is about, currently the time I'm doing this podcast, about 12:48 in the morning. So 12:48 a.m. So, you know, I'm probably the loudest one in the house, but it is what it is. They're just going to have to accept man's on a drunken behaviour right now. You know, it is what it is. So, can't lie, you know what I mean? I'm steaming. I'm absolutely a bit steaming still. But stupidly I decided to down the port. Figured it was a good idea. And I regretted it. But this is going to be a fun episode for you guys to watch. Me steaming on all of that. Steaming like a steam train and all them things and that. But anyways, let's get on to it, guys. What we're going to get on to in this episode of the podcast, we're just going to have some unpopular opinions. Start off with that first and all of the above. If you're feeling this episode, all of that, yeah, don't say any more, any less. Let's get on to it, guys. You know what I mean? So for the ones that were probably missed of the unpopular opinions, I know people say, that's the show you do on Sunday. Why is the unpopular opinions coming right now? Oh, it's right now, right here, right now, like the Fatboy Slim song. Right here, right now. I'm just going to do it, so let's get on with it. You know what I mean? So it's the bonus round, bonus settings. You know what I mean? You put that extra quarter in the cash machine, and then you win some tokens. Do you know what I mean? You didn't think you were going to win, and you ended up winning. People said, I don't think really doing this is winning, because listening to you talk on is not winning for me. But anyways, let's get on to it. Yeah. First unpopular opinions I've got for you guys. People are so dramatic about kids on airplanes. Now listen, I think kids can act up. I think parents need to really put their kids in check. Do you know what I mean? Woo-ha! Got you all in check, like the Busta Rhymes song. Because some of these parents come out here and they don't know how to discipline their kids properly. If your kid is going around kicking the chair in front of them where the passenger is there and it's about an 8-9 hour long flight, then that kid deserves to get a telling off. Do you know what I mean? All of that should be exposed. They should be told a real lesson. You know what I mean? And said to them, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Acting like a punk ass little bitch. You know what I mean? You should be telling that kid, hey, stop fucking around and start behaving yourself. Because kicking the chair in front of you and you're not having that disciplined manner to understand that this is going to cause a problem, you need to get your ass handed to you. Now, people say, how would you handle a kid kicking your chair? I'll tell the parent, turn around and say to them, don't you know how to control your children? Number one, if they've done it once, okay, whatever. They've done it twice, 3 times. Now I'm starting to look at you. Say, hey, why don't you could take control of your child? Your child is acting like a punk. Yeah, stop acting like CM Punk at this point in time and sort your child out. You know what I mean? Your child doesn't need to be doing a cult of personality bullshit. Yeah, I mean, sort your shit out. You know what I mean? And that's just what I have to say on that. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if worse comes to worse, that parent is getting cussed out. You know what I mean? Not the child, because the parent is responsible for that child's behavior now. If they've done it once, you haven't told your child they've done it twice. You know what I mean? It's not 3 times a lady like the Lionel Richie song. It's 3 times me from going over there and telling you about yourself. And maybe even worse, when we get off the plane and get onto a different outside of the aeroplane, then that's cue for me to go and kick you in the ass. Do you know what I mean? And that's just what I gotta say on that. But I do feel that people need to check their kids when they're on aeroplanes. You know what I mean? You got to be putting them in check. You know what I mean? Tell them about themselves. Stop that. Do you know what I mean? Stop it. Well, you're not getting no candy, no sweets, no none of that. Nothing for you on the flight. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, listen, dinner and that, you gotta give them dinner and whatever. It's a long flight and that. But any treats and that, any time to play iPad settings or whatever they're doing on their phones and whatever they've got in terms of devices, in terms of they're playing and that, you pull it away from them. You teach that kid a lesson. Anyways, let's move on. Next one. It sucks that films at the cinema don't have an interval. No, I don't know what this person is on. This person is crackers right now. Because how can you say that film should have an interval? Like, it should have a break. Should have a what's his name? A commercial in between a film. What are you watching? You know, you're not watching something that's on TV. You're watching something live in the cinema. Do you know what I mean? In the screening views, in the films, where you're going to watch a film. Why would you have intervals there? Breaks. If you want to get up and go to the toilet, get your ass up and go to the toilet. You know what I mean? Why are you acting like a punk ass bitch? You're talking about, oh yeah, well, I think it's best, man, if they have intervals. If they don't have intervals, it's going to be a problem, man. I need to take a piss. If you know you need to take a piss, then get up and go and take a piss in it. You know, you stop acting like a doofus. Stop acting like a twatatooey. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Holding your bladder in, acting like a waste man. And get up and go to the toilet and go and piss, you know, if you need to do that. Sit there and try and hold your piss in thinking you're a big boss. Do you know what I mean? Idiot. But anyways, next one we're coming to. So the last one. Most introverts use introversion as an excuse for what are really actually poor social skills. Now I feel like introverts, I don't think it's an excuse. I think some of them just want to be left alone. And I just think that's what it is. Some of them like their own company, some of them like being at home. Listen, I was an introvert before. I like to stay at home and I just like to just drink alone, which I did today. But you know what I mean? You just want to do them things. You know, it's exciting sometimes. It's fresh, exciting. And it is. Sometimes you just don't have the luxury of going out and seeing idiots on the road. Do you know what I mean? You just don't have time to go and meet people then. You know what I mean? You just want to just chill on your ones and have a good time. Do you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I just don't think these people actually have poor social skills. I think you just don't understand introverts and extroverts. That's just what it is. So let's move on. And that's all I've got for you guys on the special unpopular opinions for this episode. We'll come on to, obviously now, we're going to move on to now some questions. Some Randy's questions, you know, all of that, juicy questions and that. So let's see if I can get onto that. As I said, I've not really prepared anything, so just whatever comes is whatever comes. Whatever comes to mind is what to spit. Not saying anything that is written. Yeah, that's just a rhyme, yeah. Anyways, trying to see if I can find it. If I can't, we'll just move on to something else. Alright, this probably should be an interlude at this point in time. Do you know what I mean? Playing some interlude music should be helpful at this point when the background music is playing, so that should still do something, you know. People are, but it doesn't really do anything. Shut up. You know, wait for me to flipping get this thing on and then we can try and do the Triple H stuff. This is all I'm doing, you know what I mean? Spit water and all that. It's time to play the game. Yeah. Triple H. Yeah. Alright. Now we come to the questions. If you could have any person become a member of your family, who would you choose? I mean, if you're talking about anyone famous, um, obviously, just to learn something of that person, Barack Obama would be a nice addition to my family. You know what I mean? I always said Robbie Lyle of TV to obviously replace my dad. You know what I mean? It'd be a nice replacement. Because obviously I'm an Arsenal fan myself. So as an Arsenal fan, being someone who is in touch with someone who also is an Arsenal fan, and I love the work that he does as well, in terms of how he puts himself about, he makes himself, public to the public eye in terms of where he goes out there and actively, does content. I big him up and all of that. So yeah, those are the only two I generally can think of right now. Okay, next one. What is your opinion on tattoos? Listen, I've got a tattoo. People might not know I do have a tattoo. I do have a tattoo of a cross with beads. And people say, but I thought you said you were spiritual. Yeah, I am, but my background is obviously Catholic, Christian. So, I have that there as a reminder. Keep thinking spiritually and whatever. I don't agree with everything that is obviously in the book, but I do, have beliefs in all of them things, and in terms of where all of the above. Brain is not braining right now, so let's move on. Next one. If you could only ask one question to each person you meet, what would be that question? To a person I meet, I think if it's a hot girl, we're like, would you want to date me? It's just as simple as that. Do you want to go out and do you want to do things? Do you know what I mean? Let's get loud. You know what I mean? I think with if it's I don't know, someone that's a bit of an asshole, then I'll say to them, why are you an asshole? Do you know what I mean? It's just as simple as buy. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're rich, how did you make your money? Do you know what I mean? It depends on their circumstances. It depends on what they're doing and what they're really interested in and how they are with society and everything. So that's what I'd say on that. So that's my thoughts. Yeah, tissue there. As I said, I was out on the cold, so cold settings and that. Yeah, I don't have time to pause all this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this back on if I pause it. As I said, steaming settings and that. So you're going to have to bear with man when man does the wiping ting and that. So at least I covered it so you guys can't see anything. So it should do the actual pixelated stuff, but I don't even know if I could actually do the pixelated thing after it. So yeah, that would still be a problem, wouldn't it? But yeah, man's done and all that, so let's get rid of that. And yeah, next one. In emergency situations, how do you react? I think if there's an emergency, I think it depends on the emergency. If it's a family emergency, obviously I'd be very concerned. I'd want to know what the issue is and the problem is. If it's obviously someone that I'm playing football with, you want to check and see if they're okay. You want to see if obviously they're good, their well-being's fine. If you need to obviously escort them into the ambulance or whatever. So yeah, man, that's all I got. Next one. What mode of transport have you never tried? Cable car. I think, have I been on a cable car before? No, I haven't. That's the one mode of transport I've not got on. So been on a tram, bus, obviously, taxi, plane, car, lorry. I've been on a lorry. I haven't been on an 18-wheeler, so that's one I've not been on. So an 18-wheeler, cable car, coach I've been on, minibus I've been on. What else is there that's out there? DLR counts as some sort of different line because they use their mechanics to, I guess. So yeah, that's all I can really think of in terms of like transports and that. Bike, been on a bike. Motorbike, oh, that's another one. I've not been on a motorbike. So two, those are the two I've not been on. So And that's it for the questions, guys. Cool. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to touch on a little bit of advice. I don't think we've got a lot of time. Also want to steam through all of the UEFA Champions League matches that are going to come up and the Premier League. So we're going to get on to some of my advice to some of the people who may need some of my advice in terms of their confessing their secrets. These are their confessions, and that the Usher said, these are their confessions. Just when I said all I like to say, check on the sign, you got one on the way, all of that. But anyways, let's get on to the first confessions if this thing actually wants to load up. It's being a bit of a dickhead right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's being a dickhead. It's letting me down. Come on, fuckface. Let's sort this out. This is really not want to do it. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. All right. We got the first one here. My wife went out for the evening and the baby has been crying ever since she had left. And I'm losing my freaking mind. I think you just need to be with your kid a lot more. You know what I mean? The bond between you and your child is very sacred. Your child obviously is very familiar with your woman, and the child is not familiar with you. So you do need to familiarize yourself with that child. Maybe you've been working a lot. My advice to you is probably take some time off and probably get to know your child a lot more, because obviously your baby doesn't know who you are. You know what I mean? Your baby is very familiar with your wife and not familiar with you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying bring a teat out and that and try and get the kid to, man, them don't do them things. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it's mad. But maybe getting the fake pump things, as the people do, the fake pump things, that may help you. Do you know what I mean? Bonds maybe more with your child. Do you know what I mean? If you obviously your child is like, let's say, in the ages where they can do breastfeeding and that. They can't do breastfeeding. My advice to you is just get them some treats that they may like. Not a lot of them, you know what I mean? But something they may like, and just play around with them a lot. Do you know what I mean? Just tickle their cheeks. Throw them up in the air a few times. Not like literally, but just like, wee, yeah, baby, wee. Just a few little, do you know what I mean? Make them smile and giggle and that. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's something that can help. Also something as like tickling them, potentially the little stomach, or even patting their back maybe, because maybe they need to burp, milk needs to come out or whatever. So that could help too. Do you know what I mean? Maybe even singing to them, playing some tunes that you like. Do you know what I mean? Doing some weird dance in front of them. Bro, you just got to get creative. And I think that's what could help potentially stop your kid from crying and getting used to seeing you more often. That's just my thing on that. All right, next one. One of my clients had an accident on my table during their session. Now, let's read more into this and what this one is saying. This is a long one here. All right, this is just me yapping into the void because I still can't believe this happened. I'm a massage therapist and I work on a military base. While there are restrictions in place as to who books with me, I still get a bunch of interesting clients. In order to book with me, you have to be able to 1, get on base, and 2, purchase things on base. Purchases are limited on base because they're tax-free. This is mostly limited, blah blah, all of this. Yeah, this is long to read all of that. Okay, I had a client book on Friday and arranged a massage for their sister that was visiting from out of town on the following Saturday. This story is about the Saturday sister. Bro, this is long, man. This is actually long. All right, let's try to summarize this because this is long. Batman. This is long, man. Okay, so he puts the client face down. The client wanted him to end up massaging her back, so he started with her face up. When he got to her ankles, she started coughing. I ran out to grab her some water and restarted once she was settled again. She started coughing again and goes, oops. I asked if she was okay and she said, once you get to a certain age, I have a couple of kids. You cannot control your bladder. Oh, I tinkled a little. I tell her it's okay, it happened, but that's not the accident I'm talking about. I turn her over and start on her shoulders, moving down to her lower back and on her hips and glutes. There's a spot on the glutes that can provide a lot of relief for low back and hip pain. but it can also release gas. Okay, let's just say she farted then. Yeah, okay. So that's generally what happened. Happens all the time. We get into another side, she farted again. Cool. So or so I thought, her head shoots up and she whispers, "Oh no, oh no, oh no. No, no, no." She looks at me and tells me she had an accident. And then the smell hits me. Keep in mind it's an old military building. The heat is on full blast and I can't control the temperature. My client just shat herself. Woo! Okay. So I handed her baby wipes. I said, you said telling her it's okay, clean up, and then yeah. So you just use the wipes and then throw away the stained sheets. She finished to clean herself up and she swears this hasn't happened before. He said, smiled, said, this is okay, shit happens. Yeah, thank God she laughed, and then I laughed, and then she left and I threw the entire sheet away. Said, the heat on full blast, lack of circulation, the smell wasn't going away. I had to reschedule the rest of my clients for the day. Said, I don't mind getting paid for the clients, blah, blah, blah. She's a regular now, comes to visit in town. Love her, and that. Said, we have a little joke, blah, blah. The fart spot is what? What does that say? The fart spot is the piriformis. They can be incredibly sensitive to work with. Bro, this person just goes on and on. It's on and on and on. Okay, basically summarizing, the woman shat herself, basically. And she pissed herself. It's embarrassing, to be honest, when you're having a massage and these things happen. You know what I mean? I think when you know these things are kind of going to happen, you kind of got to say to the massage person, stop, I need to go to the toilet. Because obviously, it's embarrassing to shit yourself. If it's me, that happens to me, I'm never coming back to that place again. No, there's no doubt about it. I'm not going there anymore. Do you know what I mean? You're never going to see me again. No. I can't take no more of this. It's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? You've just shit yourself and pissed yourself in front of the guy. Do you know what I mean? And you're going to come back. No chance. I'm giving you the one-off payment and I'm never coming back again. That's just all it is. I can just simply say to the man, next time she books with you, but this is down to her. You know what I mean? You're going to getting paid for this. So it is what it is. But you just have to remind her, hey, if you need shit, get yourself up and go and shit in the toilet. Or if you need piss, go and do that in the toilet. Don't be shitting on my sheets or shitting on my massage table, because you're going to have to pay extra for that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not someone who's going to be able to clean all that crap off. Do you know what I mean? You're going to have to pay for damages if you're going to do them things, 100%, because you shouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I mean? I get it's an accident and all of that, but you got to be able to control your bladder movements. You could be as old as whatever it is, but if you can't control yourself, then listen, like the LL Cool J song, it's hard to control myself. It's hard to control myself. You got to control yourself, especially when you're there and you're getting a massage. Do you know what I mean? Someone's then rubbing your thigh and you start to go, ooh, that feels good. You're acting like a fool. Do you know what I mean? Shitting on beds and that. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? Get yourself up. Go and clean yourself off. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you don't be shitting on beds anymore. That's my advice to the woman. Do you know what I mean? Don't be doing that. You know what I mean? You said it's the one time, but how do we know it's the one time? You probably have done this before again when someone has touched your leg or touched your back, my neck, my back, the CS settings. Do you know what I mean? That's what's been happening. But anyways, go and check yourself out. If I was her, I wouldn't go back there again. But obviously, listen, she's decided to go back there again and the man's decided to accept her. Listen, it's all about the moolah at the end of the day for the man. But if I'm the man, I'm saying, happens again, you're paying double, because man's not going to be here cleaning all up that nonsense. You shat on my stuff, you're going to clean up my stuff because you shat on it and you pissed on it. That's all I've got to say on that. Woo, that drink is hitting. It's hitting. Yes. Well, that's that for my advice. Now we're going to move on to I want there to be champion. All right, we're going to come to predict these games of today. It's currently 1:11 in the morning. So, past 1 o'clock in the morning. Madness. I'm doing a podcast at this time. Crazy. But hey, shit has to be done. We're going to go on to the first match. Milan versus Feyenoord. This is on today at 5:45 p.m. So, I'm predicting that Milan are going to win this game. On aggregate, they're obviously winning they're losing It says they're losing on aggregate. Yeah, final to win 1-0. So I think Milan could turn this around. I'm going to go 2-0 Milan. So Milan to go through, 2-0 on the day, 2-1 on aggregate overall. Benfica versus Monaco, again today at 8 p.m. Benfica already up winning 1-0 against Monaco. So I'm going to go for Benfica rounding this up, a 2-1 win. Benfica going through, 3-1 on aggregate. Atalanta versus Club Brugge. Club Brugge ahead, 2-1 on aggregate. I think Atalanta probably will turn this around. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Atalanta, which will put them through, 4-3 on aggregate. There's more matches to be loaded. I'll hurry up. Come on, load these matches, please. Bayern Munich against Celtic. Bayern Munich already up on aggregate 2-1. So I believe Bayern Munich are going to round this up and finish the job. They're at home. I'm predicting probably a bit of a rout here. I'm going to say Celtic probably may get a goal, but I think Bayern could end up turning them over like apple. So I'm going to go 4-1 Bayern Munich. Celtic go out, 6-2 on aggregate. And the game's on tomorrow. Dortmund versus Sporting Lisbon, which is aggregate 3-0 to Dortmund. I generally don't see Sporting Lisbon coming back in Dortmund's pitch, but you never know. Things could happen. Shit happens. But I think Dortmund will have enough to get over the line. I think Sporting's going to fight here. I think it could end up a draw here. So I'm going to go for a high scoring 2-2. Dortmund go through 5-2 on the aggregate. Next game is Real Madrid versus Man City. Real Madrid up 3-2. You know what I mean? Man City threw it away in the first leg. So this is an opportunity, you could say, for Man City to try and get something from this game. But I don't think they can get anything. Do you know what I mean? I think they'll score a goal. But I think Real Madrid will round it up. I think Real Madrid will just sit back. Probably City may even score first, get some feelings and all of that. But I think Real Madrid just finish them off. I'm going to go for a tight one, though. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Madrid win against Man City. Real Madrid going through an aggregate 5-3. PSG versus Brest. You know what I mean? Chicken breast. I think it's probably over and done with these men. So, fortunately, they're getting put in a tender and it's over for these men. PSG, I'm going to round it up. I'd say it would be a tighter affair. Brest probably would get a goal, but I think PSG would end up finishing them 3-1. I'm going for PSG 3 goals, Brest 1. And the final game of the playoff rounds, the aggregate, obviously PSV versus Juventus was 2-1 to Juventus on aggregate. I'm thinking that PSG will come up fighting, but I think Juventus would have enough to get over the line. I think it will probably end up a draw. So Juventus just going through here, 3-2. Yes, 3-2 on aggregate. Sorry, my bad. Again, drinks his hitman differently. So yeah, that's all that we have for the Champions League, guys. What are your thoughts? You can put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. All right, we're going to move on now to predict the Premier League. I think, or just come back to the results that happened in the Premier League. So let's get that up. There we go. Premier League theme is a all of that. So that's the Premier League theme. We're going to get on to obviously the games that did happen in the previous thing. Wants to download. It's driving out too mad, isn't it? It's moving mad. I think I'm going mad, mate. I'm losing my mind. So much on my plate. So much on my plate. I think I'm going mad, mate. Right, are you gonna load or you're not? You're not. Are you loading? Right, finally it's done it. Okay, cool. There we go. So obviously the games that did happen. Match day 25. Let's go on to match day 15's game first, which was Everton against Liverpool. Ended 2-2. Crazy result that was, you know what I mean? Big result for Everton. to score late on Tarkowski with that bullet of a finisher. Obviously, Liverpool weren't happy at the final whistle, but these things happen, don't they? Refereeing decisions poor, but these things happen. I think it's still Liverpool's title to lose. I do think they'll still get over the line somehow. So, yeah. The next match on match day 25, Brighton versus Chelsea. I should do the voice thing. I don't do the. So this is our Steam. I've forgotten to do the voice thing, haven't I? Let's just do the voice thing. Okay. Premier League, match day 25. Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. Leicester City 0, Arsenal 2. West Ham 0, Brentford 1. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 3. Aston Villa 1, Ipswich Town 1. Man City 4, Newcastle 0. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Crystal Palace 1, Everton 2. Liverpool 2, Wolves 1. Tottenham 1, Man United 0. And that's obviously the results for the Premier League. Thoughts on Brighton, Chelsea? Listen, it's a great result for Brighton. Chelsea absolutely in the mud, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Came out and did nothing. Do you know what I mean? And is what it is. Matoma with an absolute special goal. What a touch, what a turn, what a finish. And then 2 goals from Minte. So it is what it is. Chelsea back in the mud. Arsenal winning 2-0 against Leicester City. Didn't look like it was coming, to be honest. I didn't watch the game, but I saw the highlights. So I didn't give you guys an ask and I shall deliver. When I do actually watch a full game, you will get that. If obviously I didn't have a chance to, then you wouldn't get it. So I was at football, playing football myself, so I didn't have a chance to come back and watch it because it was too late. So yeah, but saw the result. We ended up winning 2-0. Half time, kind of was obviously checking it out for a friend's phone, and it seemed like we weren't really going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? And in 1 year we looked like our bright spark, but then the substitutions happened. Raheem Sterling's played awful shit. I'm sorry, man, but Raheem Sterling, bruh. If I was you, bruh, I'm just ripping up that contract, man, and just leaving. Because at this point in time, you're becoming more and more of a liability. We haven't got anyone left fit, and you're putting in these stinking of a performances. I can't believe it, man. I don't know what to tell Raheem, man. Listen, I kind of looked at it and I said to myself, this guy fully has certified himself as probably one of the worst signings in Arsenal's history. Do you know what I mean? Worse than people like Kim Kallstrom, worse than people like Denis Suarez, worse than all these man then. You know what I mean? Who came in and did absolutely jack all. Do you know what I mean? You've done absolutely nothing. Scored 1 goal, I think. Well, apart from that, what have you done? Raheem. People said Raheem was going to be the guy to do things. Do what? Except collect his money. Go home to his wife and kids, which is nice. Enjoy that. I'm happy that you have that in your life. The wife and kids. And that's all good for you. But in terms of on the football pitch, you're a disgrace. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. You're a disgrace on the football pitch. You are. And let's be honest there. I don't even know why we signed you. Do you know what I mean? I just want us now to just say, Raheem, bruh, this is not working out. Let's just rip up this contract and you just go back to Chelsea. Just do it. Just do it at this point in time. Because what is the point? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather us take one of these youths from the youth team and play them instead of him. Because they'll give a lot more effort than he does. Man, get him out, man. I'm done with this man, bruv. It's over. It's over. But listen, big up to Mikel Merino. He scored 2 goals. It's wonderful for him. Do you know what I mean? That he's managed to do that. Didn't see that coming, to be honest, but he scored 2 goals, a header, and then a good crossing from Trossard, and then he's put it in the back of the net. So we keep going on, but I still don't think we're winning this Premier League. I think not signing a striker is going to be the big problem for us. And that's just where I think we're going to fall. There's going to be that game where we don't score a goal, when we need to score a goal, and it's just not going to happen. So let's move on. West Ham, Brentford. It's a good win for Brentford away from home. West Ham was on a bit of a run and then they're back on the run. Southampton, obviously losing to Bournemouth. Standard as usual, isn't it? Southampton, just awful. You already know Southampton are getting relegated, man. It's over for them, to be honest. But Bournemouth, good win for them, 3-1 win. Aston Villa, 1-1 against Ipswich Town. I think no one saw that coming. Delap getting that goal and then them getting a red card and then Villa getting back into the game, and Ipswich Town defended really well to stop any hopes of Aston Villa breaking them down and getting in. It's a good point away from home for that Ipswich Town. Man City beat Newcastle 4-0. None of us saw that coming. Crazy. I genuinely thought that it could be a tight one still. It could be one that maybe goes to a draw. You know what I mean? But City ended up coming out, thrashing Newcastle, battering 4-0. Omar Mamouche scoring a hat-trick. It's a brilliant, brilliant hat-trick from him. Fantastic. City are back on the run, which is not good. Do you know what I mean? I don't want them to be on the run. I want these men to be falling away, but they're back on the run again. But next game, hopefully they drop points again. Fulham, Nottingham Forest, just a good win for Fulham. Against a good Nottingham Forest team as well. To go and win that game, brilliant for them. Everton, 2-1 win against Palace. Palace, it's all over the place for Palace right now, isn't it? Everton now on the resurgence. David Moyes back at the helm, and these men end up picking up 3 points. Liverpool winning 2-1 against Wolves. It looked like in dire straits for Liverpool, but they end up turning it around. Wasn't a great game for them, but Wolves all over them. Pack of Wolves settings all over Liverpool. The Birds eating them alive at points of time, but they managed to survive and gave a stinging blow and flutter away for 3 points. So Tottenham, ended up being Man United 1-0. United deeply in the mud right now, deeply in the mud. To get beaten by that shit Tottenham team is awful for them. Ruben Amorim, who knows what Amorim is doing? Amorim is just looking lost out here. Doesn't really have a clue at this point in time where he's going or where he's not going. He's looking like he's going back and forth, the Wu-Tang Clan song. Do you know what I mean? But he's off track, offline, off setting. So I don't know where he's going. Who knows? But Ruben Amorim just really needs to check himself before he wrecks himself. And that's it, guys, for the Premier League matches. That's all I've got for you guys in terms of that. We're going to obviously come to predict the rest of the Premier League. Let's get on to the rest of the games we've got here. Which is match day 29, Aston Villa against Liverpool, which is a 7:30 kickoff. That's on tomorrow, actually. Villa against Liverpool is going to be a tough game for Liverpool. I think away at Villa as well. Villa are a strong team now. Emery in charge. Very good players. Liverpool have got a strong team as well. They're on a bit of form after winning their game. It's going to be a tight affair. I could see a draw here, to be honest. I think this is a place Liverpool potentially slip up at. I could see a draw here, but I think it's going to be a high scoring draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 in this one. But it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool nick a late goal and able to get over the line. So I still think it would be a 2-2 though. Next game we've got, which is the Leicester versus Brentford. I'm going to go for Brentford winning this game. Leicester City just don't look on form. If they lost their last game to Arsenal, don't think they're really at a stake where they're going to do much at home. I think Brentford have a lot of firepower going forward, Wissa and Mbeumo. So those two guys, very good strikers as well. Jamie Vardy's a bit old, let's be honest there. Don't think he'd be able to carry it by himself. And his strike partner, I think who's he got? That Paxton Daka, who's been in and out, inconsistent as well. So I think this is Brentford's to win. I'm going to go 3-1 Brentford on this one. Everton versus Man United. I think it's going to be a tough game for Man United, to be honest. Everton got David Moyes back. David Moyes right now is getting the best out of players like Beto and these guys who probably weren't doing best under the previous manager. So I think that this could be a very tough game for Man United going away to Everton. So it could be a very tight game. I'm gonna go for a draw here. I think it could be a 1-1. Bournemouth versus Wolves. I think Wolves will win this one. Could be a tight game though, because Bournemouth inconsistent as well. Wolves, they just lost their last game, didn't they? So, but I think they'll find a way to bounce back. Cunha up front, very dangerous player. In terms of very, very good on the ball. Knows how to finish as well. I would edge it Wolves. 2-1 Wolves. Ipswich Town versus Tottenham. Tottenham, you don't know what you're going to get with Tottenham. Tottenham 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad. Big Ange in charge. Who knows what Tottenham is going to turn up. I think they might have enough to get over the line now. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham in Ipswich Town. Southampton versus Brighton. I think it's going to be a Brighton win. I'm going to go a 2-0 Brighton win. Even if it's away at Southampton. Southampton have been all for this season. So I'm going to go Brighton to win that game. Arsenal versus West Ham. This is going to be a bit of a tricky one still. I think it could be a case where if the strikers don't turn up, this could be a problem. I do think we have the knack to probably drop points here. But I'm going to back us just to get over the line. I would say a 1-0 Arsenal. I think Nwaneri probably will come up with the goal. So I'm going to go 1-0. Fulham versus Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for Fulham winning this one. I think it'd be a high scoring game. So I'm going to go Fulham 3-2. Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Again, this could be a tough one for Chelsea, to be honest. Aston Villa obviously right now, again, an inconsistent team. So I'm going to go probably for a draw on this one. Part of me thinks Villa, I'm thinking Villa now, because who have Chelsea got up front? And I'm thinking their striker's injured. So, 2-1 Villa. Next one, Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. I think that this is going to be a tight game between the two. I think it could be ended up a draw here. I'm going to go for a 1-1. Man City versus Liverpool, which is the game of the weekend. Sunday, 23rd February, 4:30 kickoff. I'm going to go for... this could be a tough one as well, because it depends what City turn up. But Liverpool have got the firepower up front. But it depends. Again, Erling Haaland turns up, these guys going forward turn up, then Man City could have the firepower to put a dent in Liverpool's title run. So it's who knows, but it's at City's ground. It's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. I can see a draw in this, to be honest, but again, it depends on which City turn up. But I think City probably, I think it'll end the draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 here. And that is my predictions of the Premier League. And that is all, guys, for this episode of the Clairpoint Podcast. So, big up you guys, first time watchers, season watchers, and all of that. If you're feeling this episode, you know what to do below on that. Past the point, no return at this point in time, Head's all cloudy and everything. So, but thanks, guys, all of that below if you're feeling it. And, what I usually do, I'm going to finish. Peace, love, unity, have fun. And you're either all in or clear out. Absolutely hammering. Absolutely hammered.